June 29th. Parade Review. One perfectly sunny and temperate day, my front porch became my parade review stand as I observed the procession. One by one, they passed in neat order across a vivid blue spring sky. First, a rowdy puppy skipped ahead. Next, a piglet dashed across the expanse before morphing into a seahorse as it faded from view. A smoke-breathing dragon fleetingly flew by, and finally, a rhinoceros chased them all into oblivion. The clouds each dissipated quickly, giving way to the one behind it as they marched across the treetops. What a beautiful gift from the Creator our imaginations are. My smile persisted during the whole procession of fluffy white fantasies taking shape before my very eyes, existing for mere seconds before changing forever. I take such delight in the ability to see through my imagination the fun and wholesome, interesting images. It was not always so. Fear had consumed my imagination for many years, the result of childhood trauma, and presented itself most painfully in nearly every area of my life. Fear is not what God intends for us. Jesus came to save us from fear, freeing us of one of the most pervasive curses of sin. We were not created to be fearful. We were created to be focused. It requires effort on our part upon the promises of God, for it does not come as naturally as the fear we are fighting. The self-discipline of placing God's words before our eyes and tucking them away in our souls is elemental in conquering fear. It requires diligence, too. Our enemy insidiously injects it through any means possible to place a wedge between God and His children. After coming into God's family through Christ Jesus, I found Him to be wholly trustworthy. He proved His love through His sacrifice on the cross, but He also proves to be a daily supply of peace. We, through Christ, can take our fear, which usually resides in our natural thoughts, and hold it captive to Jesus, then command it to surrender to His sovereign rule. We can tame our imaginations, bringing them into submission along with our thoughts. We are then freed from the bonds of slavery to fear through the power of Christ. His promises are real, His power is irresistible, and His love beyond anything we can imagine or measure. We can align with what God says is factual, for He does not lie. Only through holding my fearful thoughts captive to Christ have I found a transformation from fear to peace possible. The parade review can be riddled with fear and dread if left to my mind's playground, or, by the power of Christ, it can transform into a sweet and pleasant imagining from my porch. 2 Corinthians 10:4-5. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ.